What's up, YouTube? It's Crazy Gunner here, and before I jump into anything, I have a funny little story, and that is that today I was looking at my toes because I've been walking around barefoot because it's summer and it's hot outside, so obviously you walk around barefoot when it's hot outside. So I was looking at my toes, and I realized that the toe next to my big toe on my right foot was really jacked up, sort of twisted, and really misshapen right towards where my foot connects to the first knuckle, or whatever it's called on your feet. I don't know if it's called a knuckle, actually. That's kind of odd. I feel slightly stupid. But anyways, I was looking at it and I'm like, wow, that looks like I broke my toe at one point. So I started feeling around and the misshapen part was actually bone. It's not like some little lump or anything. And then I was like, wow, I literally broke my toe. And so I went to go tell my mom and she saw it instantly. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I have broken my toes, yet I do not remember at any point in my life where my toes have hurt so much to be the point of breaking. So it's kind of a mystery. I'm not really sure what's going on or if God just decided to screw me over and give me a weird toe. But the reason that I told you that almost pointless story was because I found it kind of odd that I have a broken toe or a broken bone in my body and I do not remember breaking it at all. I just found that kind of weird. I'm like, isn't breaking something supposed to be painful? And I know it's only my toe and apparently that's not supposed to hurt that bad if you break your toe, which also does not make that much sense to me since a broken bone is a broken bone. I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna shut up now because I have wasted a minute and 30 seconds of your life and I am happy about it. But moving on, I would just like to tell you guys that I have been looking over my older commentaries more recently and realizing that I have kind of strayed from my path that I once stood for. That being that I used to think, or not used to think, I still think this. I used to, want to keep it real with you guys, be an actual person, an actual figure that you can kind of relate with and think about. And I've been looking at my most recent commentaries and they've just been seeing kind of like, they seem kind of plasticky, kind of fake and weird, and I know they were funny and ha ha ha, he said penis, but at the same time, I just want to talk to you guys straight. I don't want to be like, using a hard cut every second, because does that really sound natural to you guys? I mean, part of being a commentator is sounding natural, sounding like an actual person with feelings and emotions, and I feel like I've just been not near that, so I want to change that. I want to start talking with a lot less cuts, maybe none at all per video. And anyways, now that I got that out of the way, all that stupid crap that you may have skipped already to this point to just listen to the story that I have to tell. So for those of you who don't know, during the summer I went back to California for like 2 or so weeks, and of those 2 weeks I spent at least like 9 or 10 days at the beach. One of those beaches being Moonlight Beach down in, Actually, I don't know where it is. I'm not quite sure what city it is in, but it's definitely in Southern California, like 60 miles from the border area. Anyways, we go down to this Moonlight Beach, and one of the days, my friend, for whatever reason, decided, hey, let's not wear swim trunks or anything of the sort, let's just go there to chill. Which was probably the dumbest idea he's ever had. Like, why would you go to the beach without swim trunks? But I was like, oh, that sounds so smart, I'm gonna go too. And random British accent that is probably gonna make people mad. Anywho, we went to the beach without any swimming trunks. Our parents looked at us like we were retarded, which we were, notice the T, and we get to the beach and we were going to meet up with some people and chill with them. Well, we get to the beach and it is rather hot for a California day, about 90 degrees, and if you can hear jingling, that is my stupid dog with a really stupid dog collar. Go away, Loki. Yes, my dog is named after the Norse god of mischief. But anyways, back to the story, I gotta stop straying. So we get to Moonlight, he doesn't have a pair of swimming trunks or anything, so there's some girls there, and one of the girls has these really, really short shorts, and she's like, hey, you can wear my short shorts in the waters, because for whatever reason, he had boxer briefs on, and he didn't want to go running around the beach in boxer briefs, even though it's totally fine in Europe to run around in a Speedo or whatever, and some people do that anyway, so he puts on these short shorts, and he looks like the gayest thing I have ever seen in my life. Like, if you have seen a man in women's short shorts, that is like flamboyant right there. And no offense to gay people, I mean, you're cool, whatever, you can do what you do, I don't mind, but seeing a straight man look gay, it's just kind of silly. So he realizes how gay he looks and he's like, screw these short shorts, and he takes them off, and then he decides that he's just gonna like wear his towel around his waist until he gets to where the sand starts to get wet, and then he's just gonna make an all-out sprint for the water, so hopefully a lot of people don't see him in his boxers. Well, he does this, he gets to the edge, takes off his towel, goes for an all-out sprint, and about 1 second into his sprint, his wiener just pops out of the flap from his boxer briefs and just starts a-flopping everywhere. And this man is in full sprint, and he does not notice that his junk is just flopping around like a fish out of water, rolling around everywhere. Everybody sees him, and we are just laughing really hard. It takes him literally 4 or 5 seconds to look down and then hide it. And he doesn't even, like, put it away. He just puts his hand over and just keeps running for the water and, like, dove in. And I gotta say, it was probably the funniest thing I have ever seen in my life, to see my friend who's trying to hide his boxer briefs end up running into the water with his wiener a-wangin'. I gotta say, in the top 10 fails, in my book, that takes number 1, because not only did he fail at hiding his boxers, but he went a huge step lower and failed in hiding his ding-a-ling. And trust me, we are never going to let him live that down. He will know until the day he dies about the mistake he made that day. But anyways, my story is over. My little revelations to you guys have been through. I'm Crazy Gunner, and if you liked this, make sure you give me a like. I don't ask often, but when I do, I mean it. And this has been another one of my funny / silly, stupid, awesome stories. Anyways, I'm Crazy Gunner. I said it twice. That's what I do, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out!